Orville Peck, Stampede Volume 1 EP review. Let's chat about it. Hey friends, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning here tonight to chat about this latest EP from modern country singer, songwriter, and eccentric Mr. Orville Peck. He's been at it for a few years now, and somebody that I do deeply respect. I've been following him since his early days, like his Pony debut album, and at the time, this really caught me off guard because I really hadn't been listening to a lot of country, even on the more alternative side of things, but Orville's very deep vocals and a knack for just this glamorous drama of classic country really did impress me. But he was also, very tortured at times. While he was, obviously inspired by classic country, I almost felt like he had a sort of post-punk soul at points. Now, on his follow-up album, Bronco, not only did he just, go over the top in every single way, his vocals and songwriting chops had grown all around, and it was really one of my favorite albums of the year, and just so many great tracks. Now, since then, Orville has obviously been a little bit more in the public eye, more eyes on him than ever, and this new EP is a collection of duets that he's recorded recently. Let's chat about it. CP starts off with Cowboys Are Frequently Secretly Fond of Each Other, featuring the great Willie Nelson. I mean, this is just solid all around. I love the sort of strummed riff, the very old school sense of storytelling here, and just how adorable this track is. And not only is it just cute, it's also really funny and totally probably true. And Orville's vocal performance on this track is just really great and commanding all around. Willie also, as a guest feature here, is one of the more commendable efforts. He just sounds just right at home here. The two of them end up playing off each other really well. It's an adorable little duet. Honestly, really love The Hurtin' Kind featuring Midland. A lot of the sounds of this album are a little bit more stripped down than where he was on his Bronco album. It's not as glitzy and as glamorous. But I will say this, one main reason to just tune into this EP as a whole is honestly the harmonies on a lot of these tracks, including this one. They are really fantastic. And I've said this before, me and a lot of modern country don't often click, but I do enjoy, my Orville Pecks and, my Jason Isbells and my occasional Casey Musgraves and my Sturgill Simpson. But this track here brings on Midland, who I don't exactly know much music of, this is my intro to them, but honestly, they do bring a sort of rustic charm to this track, as well as some great harmonies alongside of Orville once again. This is the sort of old school country ballad that just seems very, respective of the past, but also pushing towards the future. Yeah, Orville has a real strong sense of just bringing the best out of his features on this EP. It's pretty impressive. Now, there are a few blips on the radar in this EP. I mean, for one, the Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting cover alongside Sir Elton John. And I will say this track isn't bad. It definitely has its pros to it. On one hand, the urgency, the little bit heavier, grittier instrumental, definitely, something that I needed a little bit more of on this EP. And not only that, but Orville vocally and performance-wise, the guy sounds on top form. He sounds like he was born to cover this track. So much so, I kind of wish that this wasn't on a duets EP and just on a standalone cover, because I feel like Elton's performance on this track just is not where it should be. And I don't know, I'm such a huge fan of classic Elton, but this is not an exciting performance. Also, Chemical Sunset featuring Allison Russell. Sadly, I think this is the worst track here, and once again, I do enjoy some elements of it. For one hand, the drama, the pacing, the sort of ragtimey feel, the evil ragtime feel of, like Tom Waits' Blood Money. As a matter of fact, I think Orville's performance on this track is pretty charismatic. But as a whole, this is one that really kind of falls apart as it goes on. I feel like Orville and Allison just don't really have a lot of chemistry. I don't know, of all the tracks here, this one just doesn't really hit me. It could have been left off this collection. Outside of that, though, very solid collection from Orville. A lot of this material here is actually pretty decent. I do wish we got maybe a little bit more of it, though. But How Far Will We Take It featuring Noah Cyrus, this track, initially I wasn't that much of a fan of, but it has grown on me immensely. I mean, I've never been the biggest Noah fan, but her vocals up against this very starry backdrop and the drama of this track honestly comes off really compelling. The harmonies between Orville and Noah also are pretty staggering, and lyrically, this track packs quite the punch. We also have Miénteme featuring Bu Corazón, And I just love everything about this track. The drama here, the sort of Tex-Mex flair to it, and Orville singing in Spanish, which is something new for him, and he absolutely nails it. He sounds just as big as a presence as usual. It's very hip, it's a new direction for Orville, it's something that he's trying that's new here, love to hear that. And the vocals, yeah, they are popping all around, those harmonies are great, and it would be my favorite track here. But then Conquer the Heart featuring Nathaniel Rateliff ends off this EP, and honestly, I think this is good enough to be a single. The pacing here, the drama, Nathaniel Rateliff's performance, which I'm just so glad to hear him on a track this good because I had a lot of hopes for him years ago. Yeah, and I just have been really let down by a lot of the material he's put out since, but this track is fantastic and what this EP is all about. And yeah, I've been harping on the harmonies for a while now with this album, but this is next level. This is so good. The heart on display here is truly commendable. So yeah, I don't think this is like a mind-blowing EP or anything wild that you need to check out, but for a collection of duets from Orville, you know, the vocals here are great, the harmonies are fantastic, and Orville does bring out the best in a lot of his guests, even the ones that I'm usually not that big a fan of. But yeah, the Elton John cover is just, I don't know, it should have been a standalone track, I feel like, and the Allison Russell track is just really below the mark. But still, there's a very solid collection from Orville. I'm feeling a decent 7 on this thing, but let me know what you all think down below. If you liked the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, friends.